What's up, everybody?
Hello, everyone.
Hey. Guess what? It's Super Bowl Sunday. Some of you care about that. Some of you don't.
I would be one that does not.
I care about it, and it's not even my team that's playing. So we've got a little bit of a smorgasbord of topics today. And it's because for the next 3 weeks, we have some really fantastic guests that are coming on, which we will tell you about at the end of this podcast. So you got to listen all the way through. And there's just some, it's exciting times. We're going to talk Super Bowl.
Yep.
We're going to talk fashion.
Yeah.
You're going to hit on some spring trends, right?
Yep.
So get your spring clothes ready. Isn't it fabulous that we get to talk about spring now?
I know.
Winter is like coasting. And I realize we're in a kind of a warmer climate.
We need to think about spring, though, because that's the only way I can get through the winter. So really, mentally.
But light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. So New York Fashion Week starts on Friday.
Yeah.
So we figured, why not add it into
here.
And going back
Galentine's
Day. What else?
We're going to talk about what's new on our site. We have a fabulous new tool on our site. And then we'll share a little bit about the guests that we have coming up for the next 3 episodes, because they're really great subjects, very important subjects. And we think that you'll really like them.
Yes.
But since it is Super Bowl Sunday and my Patriots are not in the Super Bowl, and they're probably not going to be in the Super Bowl again for a long time.
I don't really have a team. I do like the parties. I do like getting social.
Yeah.
But the football part, I actually do enjoy watching football, but it's not something I'm going to sit there and watch the whole game and, be jumping out of my seat and going crazy. It's just, but I do like watching the game.
Yes.
And that could be just my college upbringing coming back in me. But, I love a good game, especially.
Penny went to a football college. She went to Virginia Tech. Go Hokies!
Woohoo!
So
well,
big
that's
football.
Probably debatable, but depending on who you are
talking to.
No, but I love my Hokies, and obviously, we've had some good years, some bad years, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know if we even have any plans. We kind of usually make them sort of last minute.
Yeah. Well, we do too, unless the Patriots are in it. When the Patriots were in the Super Bowl, and the many years that they were in the Super Bowl, we always hosted a Super Bowl party. I don't know if you and Kevin ever came to one of our Super Bowl parties. Maybe.
I think we did.
You probably were too drunk to remember. It's possible. And then I think it was the year. So anyone else that's into football, or at least into Super Bowl and watching the Patriots, the year I believe they played the Atlanta Falcons, and everybody was like, they're losing, they're going to lose. And then Tom Brady pulled out the miracle of all miracles at the end. And my husband, or actually not even my husband, my friend Lindsay, thank you, Lindsay. If you ever need to blackmail me, you can. Lindsay has me on video jumping up and down, screaming, and I peed my pants.
Well, that can happen.
It can happen at our age. And it literally was a miracle. It was great. But so we'll be watching the Super Bowl. Do you have a favorite food? Do you have a favorite drink or Super Bowl food that you?
I really love the buffalo chicken dip.
Oh my God, girl! Okay, this is not scripted. I know you all know about this. Mine too. That's my favorite Super Bowl food.
I love it, and I love the celery in it. I get in there and just go for it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that's perfect. Spicy, and then you got that little, a little bit of kick with the healthy, whatever carrot or celery stick that you're dipping it with. But yeah, we make that. Not really a big wing person, but I don't know.
Yeah, I love wings, but I love a good. Now I don't like spice, but for some, and I think it's the cream cheese or the creaminess of the dip. I can handle that because it offsets some of the heat coming off of the buffalo sauce.
Yes. It's good. It's good stuff. I mean, there's other things too that I'll obviously partake in, but that is my favorite.
Yeah, so good. All right, do you know who's playing this year?
No.
Want me to tell you?
I was gonna ask my husband.
So the San Francisco 49ers and then the Kansas City Chiefs. Wonderful. And the great thing about this matchup is that the quarterback for the 49ers was the last pick of the NFL draft in 2022. Okay. His name's Brock Purdy. And he's the underdog. I mean, he was, they call him Mr. Irrelevant. Okay. And now he's taking the 49ers to the Super Bowl.
Listen, I love a good underdog. So, isn't Taylor Swift's
boyfriend?
I mean, was this a PR stunt? Like, I mean,
No,
seriously,
okay,
of
that's a
all the
question. Let us know
years-
what you think about
of
this.
all the years for, this to happen.
But okay, because I do follow football more than you do. The Chiefs have gone to the Super Bowl for the last 5 years.
I know, I'm kidding.
And he's an amazing player. He just broke a former 49ers record. Oh my God, who was it? Why am I forgetting his name? Anyway,
I can't help you.
I can't now because I'm a Patriots fan and I can't remember why how I'm forgetting his name. Anyway, he just broke a record. Like he's Travis Kelsey is an awesome football player.
Yeah.
And Taylor Swift is just awesome.
I mean,
period.
they're having the best year ever.
They are. They're
I mean,
having
so
the best
far.
year ever. And she
Um,
won Album of the Year for the Grammys.
Again.
And oh my gosh. And the
She
Grammys is a
actually
whole
broke
nother-
the record.
Yes. So she now owns or has won the most
Four
Grammys.
times.
Yeah, 4 times. So
For Album of the Year. Yeah.
God bless her. God bless them.
Good job.
God bless
Good
America.
job, T.
I don't know who I want to win because I love a good underdog story. And I don't know. So I love the 49ers for that. But then I also like when people are like making history. So,
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, he's building a legacy,
Mm.
right? And then just the whole like Taylor, Travis. I'm
Yeah.
into it.
Nice.
I'm not
I can see this.
so into it. And then I'm totally digressing. But Sophia made me start watching The Bachelor again.
The Golden Bachelor? or
No,
the
The
Bachelor?
Golden Bachelor is over.
Okay.
I
did
new
watch part of that.
Bachelor, he is cute too. Oh my
I
God,
think I've
he's
seen
cute.
it. Yeah.
So for those of you that have listened before, my daughter is away at college.
Yep.
And this is kind of and she's like, Mom, you got to watch it again. You got to
Yeah.
watch it. And so pop culture and I have found we've reunited pop culture and I now that I'm an empty nester.
Okay.
So,
I'm not there yet, so that's probably why I don't know these things. But
that's why you have
Anyway.
me.
that's right.
That's why you have me.
That's enough.
Anyway, that's our pop culture for today.
Moment.
Our pop culture moment.
Yeah.
And now we'll I guess before we get now let's just talk fashion. We'll just jump to
Sure.
talk about it.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
with it.
so yeah, I did some research,
Okay.
because again, pop culture,
Yep. New York
Even
Fashion
though-
Week.
it's not something that's on my radar, right? I
Right.
mean, I'm not in the fashion industry.
Right.
However, I really appreciate and enjoy style.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, even though we're older now and there's just some things that I don't know, I don't think that you should feel like you can't get away with it. It's
Right.
just, I'm already like set in my ways. Like
Mhm.
there's certain styles that I really always go back to, but just to give you some overview from
Yeah.
last year, these
That's
are
coming
things that are
back.
supposedly coming back. So
Mhm.
if everyone probably already knows, unless you were living under a rock, that Uggs were a big thing,
Mhm. I don't
especially
think
the
Uggs
little
are ever going away.
the short ones.
Mhm.
Well, they had a big moment last year apparently. So those are coming back, probably in some new variations. Loungewear,
Mm-hmm.
crochet,
Mm-hmm.
Birkenstocks, tennis skirts, scrunched up socks, which I really actually enjoy that trend. Cloud slides.
What is a cloud slide?
It's like those big, thick, almost like platform slippers that are like really
okay.
squishy. So super comfortable. Again, I think it's going back to that whole loungewear aesthetic.
Uh-huh.
Claw clips, natural makeup, which is I'm all about natural makeup. White sneakers
Uh-huh.
gets my
Yep,
vote.
yeah.
Loafers.
Uh-huh.
And then you'll also see more of the cottage core, ballet core, which is sort of like that English cottage vibe, flowy dresses, puffy
Is this all inspired by
sleeves.
Bridgerton? Is this where this is
I
coming
would-
from?
I guess so.
Or do we not know?
That's not something I watch, but I'm
Mhm.
guessing so. And floral patterns, this kind of thing. Cowgirl boots, which I saw a lot of
Mhm.
just around town,
Yeah.
in our town. Another aesthetic that's coming back is called quiet luxury.
Yeah,
And you made a note here.
I did.
It was inspired by the show Succession,
Succession.
which I completely agree with because that is a show that I did watch.
And I love
And
that show. I want to be a
did
Roy.
too.
I want to be a Roy so bad. They're
I don't
so
know if I want to be a
dysfunctional.
Roy.
I do. They're so dysfunctional.
Yeah.
But
Pick,
yeah.
pick another rich family and maybe I'll be a part of that one. So it's really about timeless, understated yet elevated basics.
Mhm.
So for instance, classic wool coats and blazers, elegant pumps. It's really just about, if you love that classic style, sort of
Yeah.
that timeless style.
Well, I've
and-
always thought invest in the classics.
Yes.
We've talked about this before.
Yes.
Invest in the classics. and then, you know, do fast fashion for the trendy pieces because they're only going to
Agreed.
last so long,
No,
right?
it's
So like
true.
the classics, I feel like are worth the investment. And then you
Yes.
just, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I would say that you and I would probably fall into this category more so
Yeah.
than anything. But that's something that I've always gravitated towards is just traditional classic style. Um, so another trend that's coming back this year in 2024 is sheers. So anything sheer from crochet to lace to fishnet.
Okay.
And then apparently there's going to be a focus on the color white in that category.
Yeah. That's
Um,
a horrible combination. I'm sorry.
For me,
For me,
you
it
will
is.
not show.
Wait.
You will not see me.
You will not see me
No, no.
in sheer and then white. So look pasty white and show your dimples.
Yeah,
Yes,
not
that's
that
a,
it's sheer. That's
that's a
not
win.
happening over here.
Maybe.
Uh, extra large bags. So I think last year we saw all of these like LL Bean totes were a thing,
Yeah.
right? I've owned the LL Bean tote. For
I have
years,
2 of them. I love
but
them.
I'm not like using it to be stylish.
Well,
But
I'm using it. You know when I'm using it? When I'm wearing a fishnet white outfit. I'm gonna get the
well, other
LL.
people were, so why not?
I'm gonna cover it right on up. Okay. Anyway, with my
And then-
Birkenstock.
Right. And then there was something called mermaid core, which is essentially just like flowy metallic fabrics, one shoulder tops, which I actually love.
I do too, and I they show up a woman's neckline.
Yes,
So, yeah.
and a
Mhm.
good tube
Mhm.
top is always
Mhm.
fun. But yeah, so that's mermaid core is coming
Can
back.
I ask? Okay, first of all, I'm gonna go back a couple things. Um, what is a fisherman sandal?
So I saw these sandals and they're not really my thing. It's
Mm.
kind of like not a Birkenstock, but it's like a kind of like a Jesus sandal, but
Mhm.
not like it's not and thicker, like a thick leather.
Okay.
So
Okay.
not really my thing.
Not my thing. Not my
The
thing.
young people like it, so more power.
Well, here's the thing about fashion because I feel like it's one of these things that you can like. I'm never gonna wear sheer, and I'm not right, but don't ever say never
Yeah.
because I was like an anti Birkenstock girl for years.
Oh,
I thought they were
wow.
the most hideous. I'm sorry, they were, in my opinion, hideous. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm older and my feet hurt and my back hurt and I have bunions and I have corns and
Yeah.
my feet horrible.
Yeah.
I love my Birks.
Yeah.
I love my Birks and they're cute.
They
I feel
are
like
so cute.
they have come a long way.
Oh,
Like I have the
Birkenstock,
strappy ones.
If you
where
go on their website, I mean,
Yeah,
they're
so cute.
They have some really amazing, stylish
Yeah.
looking sandals,
Yeah.
and shoes and slides and you name it. I mean, it's go to Birkenstock.
Yeah.
They've got some great stuff.
They really do. So,
So-
keep an open mind. I broke the first rule of fashion, which is
Yeah.
to say was never, because you never know.
Yes.
And at certain times in your life, some things are better than others. And
Yeah.
right now, Burke, they're my friend.
Yep, there's actually a pair on our site that are like suede
Oh,
with
yeah.
fur, and they are
Mm-hmm.
like gorgeous. So anyway, so now let's talk about what we're predicting, or not we, but the people out
fashion
there, the
world.
fashion world is predicting for the spring and
Mhm.
summer, essentially.
Mhm.
So the first thing that I took note of was bows and rosettes.
Okay.
So anything adorned with a bow, you're going to be seeing a lot on the runway, and commercially. So bows are going to be a
Mhm.
thing. Rosettes are basically those little roses
Yep.
that
Mhm.
are you can find, and apparently you'll see a lot of these in like hair accessories
Yeah.
and tops and
Love
dresses,
it.
that kind of thing. So you're going to be seeing some of that. The next thing that I thought was amazing, because this is something that I prescribed to in my 20s and 30s, was mob wife chic, which I
love
think
the
is
names like
great.
Mob Wife Chic.
I know. I love that too. And it's essentially all about faux fur coats,
Cheetah
sleek
print, snake,
cheetah
Anna
print, snake print.
Mhm.
They're bringing it back, girl. It's coming back.
I mean, it never left me. I love a good animal print.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I've always been into animal prints.
Yeah.
I love a good faux fur coat. I got a couple of them upstairs
Yeah.
in my closet. Mob Wife Chic. I'm leading that path. I feel like
several pieces that
Okay.
could work for
Yeah.
this aesthetic.
maybe
So,
we'll dress in Mob Wife Chic for one of our upcoming episodes.
well,
and
it's
see what-
interesting because one of our girlfriends we had dinner with lately said that they all got together, she and some girlfriends, that it's like a woman's group she's a part of, and they all dressed up as mob wives.
Sure, I saw the picture.
And I was
Yes.
like, how fun is that? I'm
That's
like,
great.
I love the theme.
Yeah, that's a
So,
great one.
Anyway, Another thing that we're going to be seeing lots more of is sequins, apparently. See anywhere from a sequin purse to shoes to dresses and tops and pants and everything in between. So sequins are here for
Love it.
2024. The other predictions, preppy is going to be a thing. So plaids, polos, button downs, tailored blazers, and loafers.
Great.
So loafers are all over the place, apparently. 80s.
We're bringing back the 80s.
The 80s are coming back, y'all, and
Love it.
about time, because we had a 90s moment.
Yeah, we did have it. Yeah,
And the 70s seem to be trickling here and there over the last, I'd say, 10 to 15 years. But the 80s are actually coming back this year. So it's going to be all about sort of like Madonna's Material Girl looks, polka dots, slingback shoes, kitten heels, big blazers, oversized blazers.
Are we gonna have shoulder pads? Like, I just bought a new blazer, and it had, now they weren't like mega shoulder pads. I don't mind a shoulder pad either, especially now that I'm getting older and I'm slouching. I need a little padding I can get.
Right.
So anyone our age, it's time to go into the back of your attic or your basement and bring out all your 80s, because we know you held on to it.
Yes.
I held on to a few pieces.
Yes, that's going to be fun. I think we should have an 80s party.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
So next up is a
C-suite chic,
which I have a theory on this. And so C-suite chic is basically office ready looks and a lot of monochromatics. You're going to see a lot of grays, whites, blacks, sort of a blend of those colors, tailored suits and skirts and pumps. And my theory is that this is coming back because a lot of people are starting to go back to the office, or they're either going to be required, or they're going to elect to go back to the office more.
Yes.
This year, than we've ever seen in the last few years since the pandemic. So,
I will not be subscribing to that trend.
I love a nice suit.
I do love a good suit,
and
but I'm not.
So I'm
rebelling.
Hopefully, there will be though. A reason why I need to go out and buy a new suit, because I think they're so pretty. Anyways, okay, so the next thing on the list is the color peach.
Yes.
Which Maya actually did some research, and peach fuzz is the Pantone color of the year for 2024. Peach fuzz.
I think peach is a color that looks great on everybody.
I agree.
I mean, obviously different shades of peach, right? Because there's a bit of a spectrum, different hues of peach. But I do feel like it is a color that most skin tones can carry.
No, I agree with you. So I do well in
unless you are like peachy creamy. But I guess if you're more creamy than peach, it still works. Anyway, that's my thought.
I agree with that. The other thing we'll be seeing more of, and I love this trend, is capri pants.
Me too, because for us tall girls that have long legs, that pants were never long enough for us anyway. I can now wear every pant.
I know, and I feel like they're so cute on everybody.
They are.
Right? They really work for every size and shape.
They really do.
So that's great. Great news. All shades of green will be a thing. Everywhere from Kelly green to seafoam and pistachio. So be on the lookout for that. And then the last category that we'll be seeing more of in 2024 is sporty spice. So this aesthetic includes tracksuits, ringer tees, baseball caps, oversized sweatshirts, which has always been a thing since the pandemic, slouchy jackets, and white sneakers.
All right.
What you think?
Well, I love most of them.
Yeah.
I would say I probably subscribe most to sporty spice. And that's only because working from home, like making my own hours. I live in activewear. I mean, I just live in, and it's just comfortable. Like I'm at the point in my life where it's comfort over fashion. And I can't even believe those words are coming out of my mouth. Yeah. Because if you know my background, I've worked in the fashion industry for years. I started my career in fashion in Boston, moved to New York City, always thought I'd be in stilettos, always thought I would be, just bringing it. Yeah. And now I just have moments where I'm bringing it. And I actually, for me, like I now look forward to dressing up because I don't dress up that much anymore. Right. Yeah. So like where before it was like a chore to like go into my closet every morning and you're like, what am I going to wear to work today? Yeah. And now I don't have to worry about that. So it is exciting for me. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
love a good mob wife. So I'm thinking mob wife chic and like sporty spice or where I'm going to be living
Okay.
in these predictions. What about you?
You know, I'm definitely going to throw in some mob wife every once in a while because that's always fun. I kind of like the preppy idea, the academic blazer. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think that sounds fun to me. And one, I mean, of course, sporty spice all day long because athleisure is what we live in.
Yeah.
And it's just comfortable. I'm all about a good sneaker and a
Me
great, you know, matching tracksuit or, you know, set.
You get
Right?
tracksuits or fashion.
Well, I have
Again, like Run DMC, like where are my Adidas?
It doesn't have to be literal. I think they're just saying just a matching set, right? So, so I'm
kidding.
excited about that.
Oh, that's fabulous. It's exciting. And I think we're going to do a follow-up sort of like blog on like the best picks, the best things we saw on the runway, because we do have access to the runway shows simply because of my other business. So we will follow up with some of our favorite picks for 2024 fashion trends.
Yes, it'll probably be a blog too.
Yes,
eventually.
yep, it'll be a blog post.
Yep.
So now, as you're trying to figure out like how you're going to lead the trend, you can figure out what you're going to wear on Galentine's Day. Galentine's Day. So I'm going to be honest with you.
Is it the same day as Valentine's Day?
No, it's the day before.
Oh.
So if you're like me, I have had no idea what Galentine's Day was, other than I assumed it's something that you do with your gal friends, right? Your best buddies. I didn't know where it came from. I don't really, again, I think it's just another reason for us to spend money on things we don't need to spend money on. However, I wanted to know where this came from and what it's all about. So I'm going to read to you what I found out. So the origin of Galentine's Day, it's dedicated to acknowledging the significance, the support, and joy that relationships bring to many women's lives. Go women, yay. The celebration typically involves gift giving. Of course it does, because again, capitalism, we want you to spend money. So gift giving, dining out, spending quality time with close female friends. Activities not only serve to strengthen these bonds, but also create an opportunity for women to express how much we appreciate each other. This is where it really got me. So Galentine's Day comes from Parks and Recreation, which is a TV show, and it is hysterical. Now, I never was I didn't binge watch Parks and Recreation. I actually watch it now more today than I did when it was out.
Yep.
But Galentine's Day was created by Leslie Knope, played by Amy Poehler, and apparently
Best
she hosted
character
it ever. And Leslie Knope is awesome, and Amy Poehler is awesome. So, so now I'm sort of on the Galentine's Day track, just simply because I love the show and I love her. But Galentine's Day is female friends, and it is the day before Valentine's.
Love
Day.
it. What are we doing?
February 13th. Well, I'm going to list some ideas here in a second, and then you and I can decide what we're going to do, and then we can talk about it next week.
Maybe we can have like a little happy hour that day.
Maybe we should have a mob wife chic happy hour.
Or an 80s.
Or come in one of these trends, and then we'll give a best dressed award. I love it. Done.
See?
That's going to be our
Galentine's. You guys are making things happen.
Again, speaking of now that I'm down this pop culture rabbit hole that I live in these days, thanks to my 19-year-old daughter. Which, by the way, happy belated birthday to my beautiful daughter, Sophia.
Happy birthday,
she turned 19
Sophia.
last week. I love you to pieces, and I can't wait to see you. All right, so that's essentially Galentine's Day. There's a number of different ways that you can celebrate. So of course, then I had to be like, well, what are some ways that you can celebrate Galentine's Day?
Yeah.
Now, before I jump into that, I do want to say that we just wrote a couple of blog posts about Valentine's Day. One of them was a number of gift ideas that I believe were they under $50 or were just gift ideas?
They were all over the map, but it just, some people have budgets and some people don't. So we just kind of did like a nice variety of price points, but nothing too crazy.
Right. And then the other one was, and Penny really took the lead on this one, but it was 7 of our favorite romantic local experiences, which I thought were great because they didn't see, some of them cost no money at all. Yeah. And others, maybe a slight splurge, but not anything outlandish. And there's, so if you want to skip Galentine's Day and just go right for Valentine's Day, we do have 2 blog posts that you can go read that are, I think, filled with some really good ideas.
So Kevin and I decided that this year we are just gonna make dinner for each other
Oh, that's
at
nice.
home. I mean, going out to dinner can be such a production, especially during the week.
Yeah.
So we are just all about just being like, let's just, have a glass of wine,
Yeah.
you know, eat a really nice meal, make it together. I
Right.
think that was one of our suggestions in the blog. And yeah, and just
Right.
enjoy it.
We always do that though.
Yeah.
Like it's rare for us to go out on Valentine's Day because,
Mhm.
like roses, I'm not paying a premium for a steak dinner. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll have my husband make it at home, and it'll
Yeah.
probably taste better.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you go on a Valentine's Day, good on you. We tend to do it, especially if Valentine's Day falls during the week. We'll go to dinner the weekend before or after.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. No, that's actually another great suggestion to, to not, you don't have to necessarily celebrate on that
on
day,
Valentine's
but
Day. Right.
yeah,
Celebrate every day of the month.
we kind of do.
So- We're so cheesy. We do too.
Uh,
All right. But getting back to Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So some of the ideas that I read about that I thought were kind of cool and I might take part in. So like anything arts and crafty, right? So getting your girls together and, painting or sewing or pottery or whatever. I'm not a craft person because I suck.
Yeah.
But if that's what you're into, then good on you. Or you could do number 2, which is you could actually go learn to do some of these things because I suck, so maybe I need to go learn to do it. So learn something new with your girlfriends. Dance lessons, cooking classes, sewing or crochet.
Love it.
Even makeup lessons, right? Like we talk about our changing skin, and
That's
at this
cool.
point, like that could be fun.
Yeah.
Learning how to make a charcuterie board. I mean, some of us just slap stuff on a board and call it a day. And there are women out there in this world that like it's an art form.
Yes.
It's truly amazing. So
Yeah.
you could learn to do that. A photo shoot. I thought that was kind of a cool idea.
Okay.
Is like capture how hot you all are in a photo shoot.
What's Keith doing on
I
Tuesday?
well, he keeps calling me. I gotta
Keith is
return
her
the phone.
photographer friend.
Hey Keith, I'll call you back one day. And then okay, so this is inspired by Leslie Knope. Apparently, her Galentine's Day was a waffle and cocktail brunch.
Ooh,
So
okay.
that pancakes, muffins. I don't know.
So it wasn't
A
a brunch.
buffet?
It was just a. Was it?
It was a brunch.
Oh,
it was a wedding in. Oh, I'm sorry, wedding waffle and cocktail. I don't know if I've ever had cocktails and waffles. Maybe
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sure I have.
mimosas.
I'm sure I have. I mean, what kind of statement is that? I've had greyhounds. I've had mimosas. I've had screwdrivers. I've probably had beer.
Say,
okay.
Yeah.
This one I thought was really great because I don't know about you, but like I have sort of different groups of girlfriends, and I have this one group where we're always like, we need to take a trip together. We need to plan. We need to go on a cruise. We need to go to Europe. Right? We say it every year.
We do the same
and we
thing.
never do it. So on Galentine's Day, they recommend get that group together and plan your damn trip. Like, don't go on the trip on Galentine's Day. Take the day to actually plan the girls' trip.
Just make sure you bring a bottle of wine.
Or a couple. Anything fitness or exercise inspired. So depending on what it like hiking, yoga, CrossFit, run a half marathon, golf, bowling, roller skating, pickleball, ski, whatever it is that you either like to do or want to do.
Yeah.
I think do a pickleball tournament or something.
Yeah.
That could be.
I like the active angle, especially if it's because the 13th is on a Tuesday. I think.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people have to work. So, that's actually a cool,
it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
We play pickleball a little bit. I'm going to just like, we're not good. We suck. But my husband and I play pickleball when my knee isn't acting up or my back or my hips or my ankles. Anyway, so we're part of a pickleball club and they do what is called dink and drink. So dinking is when you hit the ball, but you're not really being competitive. You're just hitting the ball back and forth.
Fun.
But then after you play, you stay on the courts and you drink.
Well,
So that would be a cool, like,
do
a gallant, pretty much. It's the only reason why we play or watch sports is so that we can drink. But that would be a good, like, Galentine's Day think and drink, I think would be fun.
Love it.
Wine or champagne tasting or a swap. I do like I like the idea of swapping, right? Like we all have sort of different flavor profiles.
Cool idea,
right?
I love the clothes swap too. Because I mean, I would definitely take some really great clothes because you get bored of your clothes,
Right,
right?
right.
And jewelry and stuff like that. So that's a
Yeah.
neat one.
So there's all different types of swaps.
Yep.
Swapping your spouse is not one of them. That's a different podcast on a different
Yeah.
channel.
I was gonna say, not on this one.
At least not today. We might.
Oh wow.
So this
Well,
other.
speak for yourself.
Okay, Penny's going there. Woo woo. Kevin, did you hear that?
No, no, no. I thought you meant you might reconsider.
Oh no.
No. I'm
not
way,
that crazy.
that ship has sailed.
Yeah. All right, but if you are considering other swapping ideas, there's a cookie swap. We're gonna keep this PG, Penny. Cookie swapping, clothes swap. I love the idea of decor. Like, I want to go to your house and steal some of your decor.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you'll ever get it back though. That's the thing, is I think that's more of a steal than a swap.
Oh, well then, but see, I love giving gifts, so then you need to tell me what you like, and
Okay.
then because I'm a really good gift
I'm
giver.
gonna walk through our house and put sticky notes on everything. Okay, I want that. I want that. Jewelry, right? And probably like costume jewelry, right? But like, I want to swap some earrings with you or some bracelets. I think that's great. Why go out and buy something when you have girlfriends that you love their style and you can?
What if you did like a white elephant and you bought like a gift?
It's on there, girl.
Is it?
Yeah, it's called the Secret Cupid gift swap.
Oh, I love that.
Unlike a Secret Santa,
I love it.
right?
Yes,
That would be fun.
I actually
Maybe we could do that with our.
like that.
We'll do our cocktail, our spring.
But you have to buy
summer
something
themed.
fabulous at a certain price.
Yes, at us. And please, people, when you are invited to do a swap, stay in the price point. If it's $25, don't spend $200. Okay. On the other side, don't spend $5. I know if you went to Five Below. I know if you went to Five Below and you got me something. Okay. 25 is 25.
Five Below.
Anyway,
Oh,
I do like Five Below though. I'm not knocking
I've
Five
never
Below.
been.
My kids' stockings for years were just everything from Five Below. So,
That's good.
a movie night sleepover. I thought was a good thing.
Okay.
And then if you want to do something from the heart or like volunteer, give back,
Yeah.
Plant a tree.
I love
I
that.
don't know.
No,
love that idea.
I think that one's a really cool one too.
Yeah.
Donating your time to an organization
Absolutely.
together.
But don't
Super
hurt
cool.
yourself when you volunteer.
So Maya had a mishap last night or 2 nights ago. She does volunteer work for a local organization called Aid Another, and it's an amazing organization that helps people with disabilities and so it's so this right now in the winter they're doing basketball,
Right.
and so Maya and her husband Bobby went to go help volunteer with these kids and young adults, and
I got in a
Maya,
fight with a hula hoop.
she did. I mean, really, literally. So you tell the story.
I'll tell the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing about Aid Another that I do, so they create opportunities for, and it's young children all the way up to adults, to assimilate them into activities that the rest of us get to partake in. So basketball, soccer, baseball,
Yeah.
it could be a social night. I think they're actually doing a Galentine's Day event as well.
Cute.
But I love basketball. I played basketball in college, and now that we're empty nesters, we really want to find ways that we can volunteer. And we've always been volunteer people anyway, but like ways to give back. So
yeah,
we were volunteering. We had our water break. I went. I don't know why I put that in air quotes. It was an actual water break. Water break. It was a water break. And so I run over to get the water bottle, and I didn't happen to see these like 8 hula hoops on the ground next to me. And I turn around with my water bottle, and my foot gets caught in one of the hula hoops.
I'm just like,
just picture this. I'm almost 5'10". I got my sweats on. I got my water bottle. My foot gets caught in the hula hoop. It's slippery. I'm on a parquet floor that's slippery. And my body, I went into a split that even when I was a kid couldn't do this split. I've never been flexible. I've never been limber. And and it's my left side that has all the issues. And I can literally hear my muscles like stretching and like screaming at me. And then to break the fall, I put down my right wrist with the water bottle. I land on my right knee, which is the one that I need replaced anyway.
You're old when you can hear things happening. Instead of just feeling it, you hear that shit.
It's screaming at me.
Ripping and popping and
So needless to say, we were supposed to tape this episode yesterday, and I texted Penny and I was like, I'm dying. I can't get out of bed. Like,
Oh,
I felt like I had been hit by a Mack truck.
poor
And
thing.
it's just, you just don't recover like you used to.
No,
I mean,
you're preaching to the choir. You know, I feel like every week there's
There's
some sort of
something.
injury.
yeah, there's something.
New
We
injury.
always get something going on. And she walked into my house today and I was like, if you smell menthol, it's only because I literally like lathered myself in icy hot. So anyway, I mean, the moral to that is if you're going to volunteer or give back, just don't hurt yourself like me. And luckily, I don't think anyone saw it because A, nobody came over to check on me.
Yeah.
And B, I have not seen a video surface on social media yet. So I think
Well,
I'm safe.
I think
I
we'd
think
all
I'm safe.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'd
Mhm.
all we'd all be laughing with you and not at you.
I don't know. I probably would have been laughing at me if I could have seen it. But all good. I'm here. I'm here to talk
Yeah.
about it. I'm still alive.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
it's all-
exactly
it's okay.
right. Thank
It's
your
okay.
lucky stars that you're still
Uh-huh.
mobile.
But anyway, all to say, Galentine's Day seems like a really awesome holiday. We're gonna give it a whirl this year.
Yeah.
Let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing is like, it doesn't have to be big. Like anything we
Yeah.
talk about, it could be text the girls in your life. You know, text
Mhm.
friends you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone and call somebody. My dog just farted. It smells so bad.
Oh my
I'm so
God.
sorry.
You know, usually we don't like announce it,
No, today I'm sorry.
but
It's bad.
maybe we
Let's just
should
start.
from now on.
Woo! That is not a hot flash. That is us airing off Mowgli girl.
Oh,
Anyway,
wow.
okay.
Yeah, that was not a good one.
And I'm gonna celebrate Mowgli on Galentine's Day, and I'm gonna
By putting her in a separate room.
yeah, exactly. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have to think about that one. Anyway, that's it. That's Galentine's Day. If you choose to celebrate, if you've had Galentine's Day celebrations before, please share with us. We'd love to know what you've done. Because again, I think it's cool, and I think women should celebrate each other anyway.
Yeah.
So now that we have a holiday where we can do that,
Absolutely.
good on us. And yes, we're late to the party. We realize that Galentine's Day has been around for a long time,
Mhm.
but give us a break. We're on the Galentine's Day track now.
we
good.
are. We have to be.
We're good.
We got time now.
We do have time.
We have
now.
more time.
Exactly. Okay, so moving on, we have an exciting new tool on our site. You've probably seen that we've written some travel blogs. We are not travel bloggers. It's travel is one of the subjects that we write about because we both love to travel.
Yes.
And you're going to? Can you share where you're going for spring break? Are you
So
sharing that?
this year we have decided we are going to Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very excited. I haven't been back since my 20s, and you know, we're going with another family.
Yeah.
So we're really excited.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we both love to travel. We like to write about our travel. So anyway, we have partnered with a company that actually was founded by a friend of mine, who I met actually at a C-suite event. I don't know if I was C-suite chic when I met her, but
sure
anyway, it was a C-suite event. This was back in the day when I used to work for another company,
Uh-huh.
and she's been in the travel industry for years.
Mhm.
She started a company called it's called Solutions, but the tool that they have built is called Traveling to Give.
Yes.
And I love it because basically what she's done with this tool is she has married traveling and philanthropy.
Yeah.
And their whole premise is, you travel, we give.
Mhm.
So when you book anything, it can be a flight, it can be a
Car
hotel,
rental.
car rental,
Mhm.
anything. A certain amount of that booking goes to a charity
Mhm.
of choice that their partner chooses.
Yep.
And and I believe we can at some point we'll be able to add charities that, I mean, they're continuing to build this tool,
Mhm.
and we can even potentially change our charity.
Yeah.
But right now, so we've implemented this tool on our site. It's very similar to if you're booking on booking.com or
Yeah.
Priceline or Expedia. And they have 110% price match guarantee. So like, even if you have points or other perks from using other booking sites,
Mhm.
they will match that. So I think that that's great.
Amazing.
So we have the tool on our site, so you can book all of your travel right from our site. And
Yeah.
anytime you book through us, a percentage of that booking goes to support the Alzheimer's Association.
Yeah.
And Alzheimer's, I feel like, is unfortunately a disease that most people are either directly or indirectly affected by. You know, certainly when we get to be the age that we are now, we know people that are you know, suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's. My father-in-law passed away from Alzheimer's, and so you know, it's just
Yeah, it's a great organization.
It's a great
And I mean,
organization, great
you know,
cause. Mhm.
I myself have had, on my side and my husband's side, we've lost people to Alzheimer's. So it's definitely something that, as you said, can touch your life directly or indirectly.
Exactly. Mhm.
And you know, and what a great idea to you know pair traveling with giving. It's like, why hasn't anyone done this before? It's such
Right.
a great concept, and I'm so honored that
Me too.
that it's available on our site. So
And it's a seamless giving, right? You don't
yeah,
even feel it, right? Because you're not the one that, it's the organization that's giving.
yeah,
You can go, and it could be any travel. You could be taking a business trip. You could be going to a wedding. You
yep,
could be going to visit your kids at college.
yep,
I mean, there's a number, family vacations,
yeah,
whatever it is. And then they also built a concierge tool, and they personalize it to each of their partners. So when you go on our site, there's a little bit more information about who we are, what we're about,
yeah,
and then there's all sorts of resources for you, like the U.S. Department's travel alerts,
yes,
right? Where is it safe to go travel? Where is it not safe
yeah,
to travel? Right? Air quality, other partners like car rental companies. So I think it's great. It's sort of
yeah,
like traveling one stop shopping, everything you need,
yeah,
and you're doing it with a purpose,
yeah.
And philanthropically.
Yeah,
So
and it, you know, we just launched it a
yeah,
couple of days
just
ago,
launched it.
so
Mhm.
I'm really excited to use the tool. And you know, if you are getting ready to book a trip, consider booking through
Through us.
Traveling to
Mhm.
Give, which is
Yep.
on our site. And yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank
So
you. So check it out. Let us know what you think.
yeah,
All right. So now we're going to talk about our upcoming
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah, we have a lot of great guests coming over the next few weeks. Really excited about
Yeah,
every single one
me
of
too.
them. We've interviewed these wonderful women, and they all have, you know, unique stories and services and businesses and knowledge that they are going to share with
Yeah.
us and with you. And two of them are actually a part of a series that Maya actually came up with, because she has, you know, a personal story behind the reason why we came up with this series. But it's called the Sandwich Generation series.
Yeah.
And if you can explain what sandwich generation means to some people who may not be familiar with that term.
Sure. So essentially, what it means is it's for people, and oftentimes it's people in midlife like us who are raising their children still, and also now caring for an elderly parent or an elder aunt. I mean, anyone,
Yeah,
an
family
elderly
member.
person in their life, and oftentimes it means that that person has either moved in with them, or maybe is in, you know, the apartment attached to the garage, but essentially it's part of now your
Yeah,
family
your
dynamic.
daily
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
And you know, I've just seen a number of my friends that are now sort of going through that, and what that all entails.
Yeah.
And so we've got about 4 or 5 different types of professionals who are contributing to the blog series, and then we'll do a quarterly podcast interview with some of these folks.
Yeah.
And they're therapists, they're advisors, they're elder care specialists, they're authors. We have a couple people that have written books about, you know, elder care. And again,
Yeah.
how do you transition from, you know, just your household with kids, or even if you don't have, well, I guess you're not sandwich if you don't have kids, unless you have dogs or cats, whatever. We're gonna, if you're a dog mom or a cat mom or whatever, we're gonna make you part of the sandwich generation. But it's where you're caring for your children, right, or your fur babies,
Yes.
and then you have an adult coming, an elderly adult coming home, and so we're covering everything from, you know, how do you plan and prepare for that? What are the costs associated with that? How do you distribute the responsibilities amongst siblings? Okay, so they might be moving into your house, but where's your brother and your sister's responsibility in that? How do they take part in that? And then how do you navigate that changing family daily dynamic, right?
Yes.
So if you're, what do you do now when you've got to get the kids to the bus stop or
Yeah.
get them to school, and yet you also have to take your parent to a
Yes.
doctor's appointment, and just
And so many people are
mental
going
health,
through that.
emotional
Yes.
health. How do you stay sane?
Yes. And so many women, who are middle aged are going through this.
Yes.
And, it's a topic that, it's like it exists. You just don't really talk about
Right.
it in a way that's like, oh, well, have you thought about this or this?
Yeah.
So I think it's a great topic. And I'm so glad that Maya raised the questions, because she and Bobby recently went through something, Bobby's dad got sick and having to care for him. So it's personal to
Yeah.
so many people. And it's an actual issue that needs to be talked about more.
Well, and it ties into part of, I mean, another reason why we sort of sparked this idea was the second part of our New Year, New You series, which if you haven't gone back to the blog recently, all four of our blog posts are out on that. And the second one is financial and life planning. And so part of preparing for, becoming the caretaker for your elderly parent or another family member, or loved one, is getting their end of life affairs in order, right? And that's really important. And
it's a sensitive topic.
It's a very sensitive topic.
Some older people just don't like talking about that.
Yeah.
But
I was listening to an episode of The View the other day, and somehow this topic came up, and Whoopi said, it's real, like, don't wait until after someone someone passes to find out what they wanted, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a tough subject, but your people should know what you want, because let's face it, tomorrow's not guaranteed, right? None of us are guaranteed another day here. So it doesn't even, let's take age out of the equation. People should know what, especially your loved ones, what do you want your end of life service to be? How do you want to be remembered? Do you want it to be a party? Do you want it to be a full-blown funeral? Do you want to be cremated? Do you want to be, like, these are things that, where do you want your estate to go? Who do you want your estate to go to? Who's going to manage your estate? Like, these are really, really important,
extremely important questions. And all of these guests that we'll be having over the course of the next several months will be talking about strategies on different topics to help you through that process. So
so that's next week's. We have a wonderful woman. Her name is Stephanie Chan. She's going to be one of the contributors to our blog post, but she's our guest next week. And then the following week, a really good friend of mine that I worked with years ago, it seems like 100 years ago, in Boston. She's had a really interesting career path, was an entrepreneur and business owner, owned a number of businesses for years, got really big into meditation, and then took for her passion and her skill for meditation and turned that into a business that does marriage and divorce mediation. So she will help you navigate if you want to try to keep your marriage together or feel like you just need your marriage fine-tuned, right? Things are good, but they could be better. Or if you're trying to find a way to separate amicably without, making it a big dramatic thing. And she's going to touch on, it's called gray divorce. So she brought it up in our conversation. Another woman that we spoke to that's going to be contributing to the sandwich generation went through a gray divorce. And so we're going to talk to her about, I had no idea what a gray divorce was. Apparently it's when you divorce and you're like in your retirement years or are heading toward your retirement years. And I just, I got divorced from my first husband when our child was 2. Right. It's a different ball of wax when you're divorcing when your kids are 2 or your kids are young, or when they're teenagers, versus when you're supposed to be planning your retirement. Just a whole different dynamic, whole different ball of wax. So we're going to tackle that subject. And sometimes, we talk a lot about empty nesting, right? And becoming empty nesters, and empty nesting sometimes can either help a marriage flourish because now the kids are gone,
Yeah.
or it dies. It's
Yeah.
like you realize you have nothing in common with that person anymore.
Yeah.
The kids are out of the house, and that's okay. People grow apart, right? Like, it's divorce is here and it's here to stay.
Yeah.
So like, how do you do it in a way where you come out as unscathed as you can?
Yeah.
And same with your children if you have children, right? Where
Yeah, I think that's another common thing that happens when the kids leave the nest is that, if you, yeah, I think it's obviously different for different people, but I think that it does happen, and you don't realize it. Just kind of you've stayed together this long, the kids end up moving out of the house, and then all of a sudden it's just the two of you, and you're like, I don't know. I think it's a realization that doesn't come until that point.
It doesn't,
and it's unfortunate, but I think that there are ways that you can work through it. It's just
you can go volunteer and then get attacked by a hula hoop, and then your husband can laugh at you for days at a time. No, but seriously, but again, I would say Bobby and I have intentionally thought of ways to strengthen our marriage now that our kids are out of out of the house, and for us, volunteerism is one of those things. But so my friend, her name's Vanessa, she's going to help us navigate through all of that, and then the third episode, Penny kind of took the reins on this one.
So
you're all gonna love it.
Well, we've talked about menopause obviously off and on because we're both going through it, but we haven't had a guest yet that has that's sort of has an expertise around this topic, and we were lucky enough to meet and actually interview a doctor today. She's going to be on the podcast in a few weeks. Her name is Dr. Vardy, and she has been a practicing functional and alternative medicine doctor for over 25 years and knows a lot about HRT, specifically around more natural methods and diet, environment. She is amazing.
She was dropping like nuggets of wisdom today. I was like, oh my God, I got to remember all this.
I wish I'd met her 10 years ago.
Yeah,
but so she's going to be with us in a few weeks talking about alternative methods to traditional synthetic types of hormone treatments. And so we're very excited to have her on to talk about that with us and with you, and to share her knowledge. So,
and I think she'll be a regular too, because not only is she a fascinating doctor and has had a really cool career, but she took a really bold step in owning her life. After menopause, like, so she's postmenopausal. And P.S. never had one symptom of menopause. Okay. Anyway,
well, she's a doctor.
She's a doctor. But she's the first to say, like, she was too busy giving of herself to other people that she didn't care for herself, and then decided to make this huge change in her life. And I think that will be a totally separate episode. But it's sort of like, again, it goes back to sort of like owning who you are, reinventing yourself.
And she talks about self-awareness. And she said that if you're not self-aware and you're not sensitive to what is happening to you in the moment, like every single day, it's going to be harder to avoid the symptoms that come along with menopause. So it was a really interesting conversation. I wish we hit record on that.
I know.
But we are going to touch on all of the topics that we talked about with her. So
that's going to be real. And so that will probably be the first episode in March, because we're interviewing her at the end of February. So it'll be the first episode that we roll out in March. So I think it's going to be great.
Yes. So a lot of great new things coming on the horizon. And we're excited to share it with you. And I guess that's it.
Okay, now you can go enjoy your Super Bowl party.
At Super Bowl.
Go Pats! Oh wait, they're not in the Super Bowl.
Chicken dip.
All right. Go Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Yes.
All right.
And we hope you have a great Valentine's Day.
Yes. Have a lovely Valentine's
Day too.
And go out and just celebrate life. Enjoy life. And we love you.
Cheers.
We'll talk to you next time.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.